you all joined on this Wednesday webinar. And for all of you who are simply on social media, I really invite you to enter the Zoom room so that we can have more of a dialogue. It's not only a monologue for you. For my friends who are in the Zoom room, you are lucky because you have an opportunity to process one of your issues, whether they be personal issues or professional issues. So before we go to processing a particular issue that you may be dealing with, let's all just relax for a moment, do a nice little relaxation ritual. I think that we can all settle down in that way. So firstly, let's just take a deep breath all together. Inhale deeply, 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 filling all your lungs with that oxygen and spreading out that oxygen, dropping your shoulders and exhaling. Exhale as much as you can. Just release any stress you have through the breath. Let's try 2 more breaths together. Inhale deeply, deeply, deeply. This time focus on relaxing your facial muscles, the forehead, your jaw. If you like, drop the jaw, and exhale. Wonderful. It's always good to try to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, okay? This really helps most in the relaxation. Everybody, once again, inhale deeply. Inhale as much as you can and spread that oxygen to all the cells of your body. Just feel every cell coming awake, coming alive. And after you hold the breath, exhale it fully. Wonderful. So easy, such a simple technique for relaxing, just a time out for breathing deeply. And I'm sure if you measure your level of stress, I believe it's gone down simply through that breathing. So now that we've taken a moment to relax, I want us all together to think of a question or an issue that has been frustrating you these days. What is the thing during this week that has gotten you upset? Now, I'm sure you have several, but let's just try to choose one this week. Every week you can focus on a different one. So let's just find that thing that's gotten you upset, angry, frustrated, itching at you. Perhaps it's something you envy. Perhaps you are upset with someone. Perhaps you are frustrated for a project you've been trying to manifest and realize, and you're not seeing any progress. So, as usual, I'm just going to run down the 3 questions of the ALKISTIS Method based on the ethos, pathos, and logos, and you will be able to process this thought. So we're going to do a little exercise now, in other words. And if you like, I would suggest, if you have a pen or paper, to write down this issue of frustration. For you who are in the Zoom room, you can go ahead and type it in the comments if you like. To my friends on social media, go ahead and type it in the comments below. And if you're having difficulty locating that anxious thought, perhaps you want to try, I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that I'm never going to be successful at XYZ, whatever your issue was. Or I'm afraid I'm never going to get my husband or wife to make this change. I'm afraid something. I'm just speaking so you have time to think about what is that topic that you want to work through during this exercise together. I'm giving you a few moments to focus and think about your most frustrating issue right now. And why I think that I'm afraid is a good beginning is that you'll find that many of the things you're angry about or the things you're envious about, whatever it is usually rooted in some fear. Even if you're angry at something, it's usually a fear. So let's just go straight to the source and find what it is you're afraid of. That makes you shout, that makes you cry. Sometimes you think it's something else, but usually it's rooted in a fear. And the good news is that this fear is often the answer to your life question. When you process this fear, you will release energy, you will release enthusiasm, you will release creative energy again in your life. So if you're feeling stuck, try to locate the fear, right? And if you like, just write that sentence down. I'm afraid, or I'm very angry, or I feel exasperated. I think by now you've all written your sentence. Let me see on the social media. Okay, maybe Nick or George, you want to share in the comments and write that sentence. What is the thing that is most frustrating you, either in your life right now or just this day today? Could be something very current in your life. One at a time, we're learning the process. So I think I've spoken enough now. I believe you've come up with a sentence that you want to work with. It could be 1 or 2 sentences. All right, now I want you to ask yourself the first question that's related to ethos. We're going to pass it through 3 filters: ethos, pathos, logos. When we're working with ethos, the real question with ethos, because ethos has to do with your integrity and your values and your truth. I want to ask yourself, how true is that statement? Not if you're afraid. Of course you're afraid. Your fear is real. But how true is what you've written? How true? Out of a scale from 1 to 100. Think about, for example, are you dramatizing maybe a little? Think about it. Are you, or maybe overgeneralizing? If you're honest with yourself. Okay, ethos has to do about being brutally honest with yourself. This will give you clarity. Look at that sentence. Is it true? Are you forever going to be in that reality? Are you stuck with it? Is it something, is someone holding a gun to your head? So be honest with yourself. And some of it may be true. There may be like a 30-40% it's true. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at that. But for now, try to figure out if that sentence is true. Now, just imagine for a moment, who would you be without that thought? Who could you be if you didn't have that thought? What kind of thoughts would you have instead? I'm giving you a few moments just to process that. Who could you be if you were your most courageous self, or if you were more like someone you admire? Perhaps it's your mother or some aunt or your grandmother or your grandfather, someone who you've met in your life who had more confidence, who had a sense of strength. Perhaps you can think of a person in a movie. If you were more like that person, what would that person think in this situation if they happen to enter your body? And you can take some notes down or write in the comments below, or simply take a moment to reflect on that very essential, who could you be in that moment of anxiety instead? I find that that is one of the most liberating questions you can ask for yourself, especially in the moment where it's happening. Who could I be right now instead of this? Because in a way, life is like a theater. It's like a movie, and you play a role. And your character has to be more free, more flexible. You know how the basketball players, they pivot, they switch, they take the ball, they take it here, they take it there, they sneak out. It's called pivoting. How could you pivot from where you are now in the drama, in the melodrama? It's not really a drama. Drama are the immigrants trying to get into Greece, or the war refugees. That's drama. What we have, most of us, is melodrama, self-created melodrama. And there are various reasons for that. Usually it gives us a justification for our heroic battle, imaginary battle, but it sort of justifies, oh, I, the great hero, I, the great heroine, who have to deal with this, you know. That big lie, I call it the big lie. The big lie that you're telling yourself is also giving you that self-righteous indignation to be that drama queen, or to be that monster who you switch into, or that extremely insecure person, whoever, whatever role you want to play. So as I'm talking, just go ahead and take any notes down or work with that thought inside your own head. Who could you be if you weren't that thought? Just take some notes down. Good to remember. Or of course you can replay this video later on and just go through the process 4 or 5, 6 times until you get it out of your system. In a way, you can say it's like a self-exorcism, where we remove the demons all by ourselves. Okay? These are little demons, I call them, little things that kind of hijack our greatness. They hijack our true greatness. So we're removing the demons, removing those toxic thoughts. Now, let's move to the next question. The next question is under the category pathos. Pathos, for those of you who don't know again, pathos, the word pathos is the Greek word related to passion. Now, passion are the high passion and the low passions. In other words, the passion, what are your dreams, the things you want in your life, the things you aspire to. And your passions are your low passions, your fears, your feelings, your self-depreciating feelings. All this is pathos, the emotional part. Emotion, it includes motion. These are the things that move you into action or into crying. They are motion. So the question we like to ask ourselves with pathos is it kind? When you say this statement to yourself, when you repeat this statement, that first thought that you have, that frustrating thought, is that kind when you do that to yourself and you take a whip and you just start beating yourself? Or another image is you've put yourself in some kind of little prison and you stick yourself in that little black room or that black hole? Is that kind when you do that to yourself? Or perhaps you're not even doing it to yourself, you're actually doing it to someone else. When you call them a name, you say, he's a stupid idiot, he's a crazy jerk, I don't know, whatever names you call the other person who's involved. You may use worse words, whatever. He's a, whatever you call that other person. When you fixate that label over him or her, when you put a label and say, he's that, how about we take a moment and have more of a kind thought? Again, it could be a thought of kindness towards ourselves. Can you make that statement that you had a little more kind and understanding? I find, for example, you may want to add the phrase sometimes. Sometimes I'm afraid that. Okay? It's less dramatic. It's less absolute. Or sometimes he behaves like a jerk instead of he is a jerk. Okay? And you might also want to add the phrase, these are phrases that soften. You may want to add the phrase, sometimes, and I'm okay with that. I'm only human. Or, and I'm okay with that. He's only human, or she's only human. And I'm okay with that. Why? Am I better? Am I perfect? Have I not also demonstrated the same stupidity sometimes? So being a philosopher means you have kinder, more understanding thoughts. You're a kind of guardian to yourself. You pet yourself and you say, it's okay. Sometimes shit happens. We're okay with that. So it's about having gentler thoughts towards yourself and more understanding thoughts, putting yourself in the position of the other person. So I find that is this kind moves us to another level. It releases a lot of the emotional baggage. And now we move to the third question, and that is logos. Logos, the root of the word logic and reason. Logic and reason, according to the Greeks, separates us from being animals. The human being is capable of logic, reason, not just reacting, reflecting, making strategies. This is a quality that makes us human, that makes us above in intelligence the animals. Not in value, we all love the animals, but human beings have logic and reason. We have developed this prefrontal cortex here, and we're capable of envisioning a different future. We have the ability to create the future in our mind. So the question related to logos that I want you to ask yourself, is this thought useful? When you keep having this thought, I'm afraid X and Y, how useful is that? What is it doing to your body? You have to feel yourself. Say, is this useful? How does it make me feel? Does it give me a headache? Does it give me itchiness? I know, for example, when I have had thoughts of fear, it would give me itchiness, eczema. Other people I know, they get headaches. Other people develop little ulcers. You know, I don't know how your thoughts affect you, but reflect on how useful it is when you self-sabotage. What use is it, right? It's like taking a hammer and hitting yourself. Is that useful? No. So now that we've passed ourself the, is it kind? Is it true? Is it useful? I want you to just reflect a moment and see how long you want to hold on to that thought that you've been having, that you keep repeat. It's not like obsessive compulsive. It's a habit. But you know what? The good thing is that habits can be broken. People stop smoking, people change diet, people change habits all the time. Even you've changed habits. Are you the same person you were 3 years ago? I'm sure that you've developed new habits, even if it's just taking a different walk, a different road to the grocery store. You've changed habits. All of us have changed some habits. At least think of one habit that you've changed and to begin to apply the same attitude to this habit, because you are going to change this habit, transform that habit, and form a new habit of thinking a new thought. And this is what we're going to do now, my friend. We are going to re-engineer that sentence, that belief system. You're going to just move it around. You're going to flip it around, you're going to edit it, and you're going to make it more truthful. And a sentence, for example, your new sentence might begin with, I can. I firmly believe that. I will. Or I am capable. Or for example, I choose. It's a very strong sentence to say, I choose. Or I am. I am something. I am developing into whatever it is you want to develop into, if you haven't achieved it already. I am becoming, I am developing. Try to make it the present continuous. It's very helpful, the present continuous. It helps you connect with your future. So if you like to write the sentence in the comments, for if you're on social media, on live streaming, or you're in the Zoom room, feel free to write your new sentence in the comments, or simply write it for yourself. Or do it later. It's up to you. I'm giving you a little time to edit and rewrite your new belief, a new belief system that will replace the older, unuseful. Okay, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, as they say. Keep what's good. Keep the usefulness. Maybe there's something useful there. Use it. But reject anything that is handicapping you, that is paralyzing you, that is sabotaging you. Clear the sentence so that now it's a more empowering, more positive, self-loving, and useful sentence and useful belief. So now that you may or may not have a new sentence, let's practice a short guided meditation. It's going to be short, but it's just a first way to kind of implant this new affirmation into you. And if you haven't come up with a new sentence, that's okay. You can just use the phrase, every day I am becoming better and stronger. Just use that one until you figure out your own sentence. Or you can say, I am inwardly peaceful. Just use anything right now. So if you're ready, let's just do a short meditation together. Take on a comfortable position. Put your shoulders back. You may or may not want to close your eyes. That's up to you. We're going to be here for 5 more minutes and relaxing in this state. Again, let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhale deeply, deeply, deeply. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your facial muscles. relaxing your whole body and exhaling any stress and strain that you may have. And again, inhale deeply, deeply. Feel that oxygen go through all of the cells in your body like a shower, showering through and clearing all the cells in your body. Exhale, allowing any stress to release. Again, inhale deeply, 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 relaxing your whole body as you do this. And exhaling. One more time, inhale deeply. Relax your facial muscles. If you want, just put a smile on your face, a lovely dolphin smile. The smile of the dolphins, the smile of the Mona Lisa, the smile of the Buddha, the smile that says, I'm well and everything's going to be okay. And exhale. And I want you just to remember that new sentence that you have come up with, your new affirmation. Just visualize it written perhaps across the sky. Imagine it is written now in the clouds. It's a bright sunny day, and up in the sky is written your new affirmation. And it has your name underneath. Just written is underneath is your name. So you know it's your affirmation. It's been written and created just for you. Yeah? Just experience it. Just imagine opening your eyes and seeing in the sky written a message just for you. This is it. This is your affirmation. This is your new belief system. And just take a moment and put your right hand over your heart and feel a sense of gratitude for this new belief, this new sentence. Just put your hand here right on your heart and say yes. Inside, just say, yes, I accept this. This is my new belief system. This is my new program. I choose it and I commit to practicing it. Several times during the day, I will remember this belief system, this new sentence. As of today, I commit to this new way of thinking. And if perhaps some clouds cover the sun, in other words, if your old belief system comes and covers your beautiful shining sun, you just allow the clouds to drift away, you blow them away, and your real sentence, your new statement will appear. So simple. You will edit away the old and bring forth the new. Will it come up, your old system? Of course it will. But now you will simply replace it. Okay, now put your hand down, relax your shoulders, relax your hand. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and welcome back. If you want to share something, feel free in the comments. If you're in the Zoom room, please go ahead and share your comments, how that experience was for you. feel free to share in the comments or on the microphone. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. There's one thing that you said that I think it's true for me, that it's really like OCD thing.
OCD, obsessive compulsive.
Yes, it's just this one thing that maybe it's not a big deal.
Right.
But you just like hang on to it. Just, I don't know, maybe just to I think that for me it is a stimulation for growth, for progress. It's this like twisted programming that I have, that I use this sabotaging thoughts in order to stimulate myself for growth, for thinking, and to become a better person.
Look, certainly these habits sometimes trigger growth. But we can also learn through joy.
Yes.
Of course we learn through problems and through pain, but you don't really need pain. There comes a point in our development where we can say, less pain, I got the message, I got the lesson, without the need for the pain. So how much pain you're going to require to get the message across, to make that change, is really up to us, Are we going to be learning through pain and drama, or we're going to be learning through observation and understanding?
Because at certain point, I think I can trust myself based on many things, that no matter what, this progress will happen because that's what I want. So it will happen. It's just have to be more loving and more patient with myself, knowing and really believing that the growth, because based on the book and the test that I have done, the Socrates test, it's the growth for me is the most important in my life, no matter what. It's number one.
Your
so
top value.
Really have to believe that I don't have to do it by fear.
Right. Exactly. You can grow. I mean, certainly we accept that pain is a great teacher when you're able to flip it, because, pain can be exhausting too if you're very stuck in that pain. So it's good to sort of go through the pain so that it causes less damage, so you have more time to enjoy your life. I'm not against pain. We can go through the pain. It's just that the sooner we can get over our own melodrama, the more we can be creative, the more we can shine and lift others out of their self-pity or drama. Real or imaginary, the more energy we have to make a difference. And here is where real fulfillment starts coming in. Either making a difference, or if you like, making money, making drawings and paintings and making stuff happen, making cakes with our kids. You just will have more energy.
And my other question, if I may.
Of course.
The more things that you see, and then you personally grow, then you see the differences between yourself and other people, because of course you're working on your ego and you're trying to work through many things. How do you manage then that difference when you see in other people, oh, they're speaking from ego, how do you...
I think how do we deal with when you're surrounded by people at work or your relatives or people you deal with, and you're dealing with what appears to be stupidity, or meanness or just toxicity. So Socrates says, and Christ says, and Buddha says, all the wisdom of the world say that it's the understanding that this person, you know, Plato would say that it's important to be kind with other people because you don't know what is the burden that they are carrying. A lot of people are carrying trauma from their childhood. They don't even know they're carrying trauma. It comes out as anger, as shouting, as nerves, as toxicity. But essentially to remember that these are like little wounded animals. Okay, what does a wounded animal do? A threatened animal attacks. Mm-hmm. So one way to pierce through these people is to make them trust you. Let them understand that you want to work with them. You're empathic. You can ask them, if you can actually ask them, what is scaring you at this moment? What are you afraid of? And not in an ego way, like what are you afraid of? But can I just ask you, I'm really curious, what do you need from me right now that you're doing all this stuff? To connect like you would with a little wounded child, you have to look them in the eyes and really connect with that pain. So they feel understood. That goes a long way. That goes a long way to dismantle their bomb, you know, their ticking time bomb. So you're dismantling. One of the things you can do is like, I'm listening. Tell me what you need. Yeah. And they might have too much ego to admit it. Right. But at least they'll know that you're interested in their pain. Mm-hmm. Of course, we must protect ourselves. Okay, you want to protect yourself. You want to see. You understand? Like if someone is, for example, blind, and he's coming at you in the sidewalk. He's coming at because he cannot see you. He's blind. He's a blind person. Mm-hmm. Now, if he bumps into you and you fall, whose fault is that? Is it his fault? He's blind. He can't see. He has some kind of handicap. Mm-hmm. So what can I do, you have to ask yourself, to protect myself from their toxicity? And a lot of the stuff they spew out, they throw out at you, they're just throwing stuff out. If you let it stick to you and you don't have your energy in place, they're just gonna suck you dry of energy. So that's why it's so important, in Stoicism we say, take care of your own energy. Just keep taking care of your thoughts, cultivate your thoughts, cultivate your inner guardian, cultivate your inner goddess, your inner wisdom. Cultivate that breathing, just taking care of your thoughts. That will be like 90% of the work. If you can just do the work that you have to do on yourself, they will go find another victim. Or you will recognize such a situation way before it's coming. You will see the storm before it even hits you. If you've worked on yourself, and you're just going to avoid the storm or take your precautions. So nothing outside of you, as they say in Stoicism, nothing outside of you can really threaten you unless you are giving it that power. Remember the beautiful quote by Epictetus that people are disturbed not by events, but by the view we take of the events. So let's just work on that perspective, our perspective. Lift our perspective. Freedom. That's why my book is called From Fear to Freedom. So for all the people, since I'm bringing it up and we're coming to the closing, from fear to freedom. Why? Because basically freedom is in our mind.